you've probably seen me a couple times before. I am going to talk about Risengrynsgrøt. Now there's a tongue twister for you. Risengrynsgrøt. And what that is rice porridge. And it's used a lot in Norway, especially on the lille julaften. If you watched yesterday, you will know that is Little Christmas Eve. And so the 23rd, it is 24th today, but we were busy yesterday. I have a recipe for you. It is super simple. It is 4 cups of milk, 3/4 cup of long grain rice. We got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt or a pinch of salt and a 1/2 tablespoon of butter. So I am gonna show you on the stove what I'm doing. So I have my milk, 4 cups of milk. It has been heating, and you don't want to boil it because it will blow up on you. So heat it up on a medium heat, and you want to stir it a lot because you don't want to burn the bottom. Milk, as you maybe know, scorches really easy. So I have my 3/4 cup of long grain rice. Very simple stuff. Pour it in. I have my pinch of salt or a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Just dump it in. And kind of a generous 1/2 tablespoon of butter, but hey, can't go wrong with butter. Butter is better with butter, right? Or smør, as we say in Norway. You want to stir this up and keep stirring until you get it to a small simmer. Then you're gonna cover it up, set your timer for, my recipe says 50 minutes, but I like to do 45 because I don't want it overdone, then it gets thick. So you kind of want to err on the little softer side rather than totally done. Okay, you will stir. When it starts simmering, cover it up, and I come back quite a few times in between and stir it just to make sure it doesn't burn on the bottom. So once it starts simmering, you're gonna turn it down to a low heat, and we'll see you back in a little bit. And as you can see, it is puttering along nicely. If it's bubbling a little too much, you want to turn it down. If it's not enough, then crank it up, but just be careful. That milk can just get out of control really fast. I am gonna cover this up, and I'm gonna check back in another 10 minutes or so. All right, so I have about 20 minutes left. I'm gonna check it. Ooh, bubbling really nice. Not too fast, not too slow, and as you can tell, it is starting to thicken up a little bit. Just the way we want it. And it's not burnt. That's always a good thing, because burnt porridge just doesn't taste good. So I'm gonna cover it up again, and ow, that was hot. I will see you back in a few minutes. All right, so it's been about 40 minutes. So depending on what kind of heat you're using, it might go faster than you think. And I had a pretty warm heat, so we're gonna open it up here and check. I did peek, but yes, it is definitely starting to be, I don't want it any thicker, so I'm gonna shut this off, and let's bring it over to serve it up. All right, so I am stirring, and you can always add a little bit of milk. And what I do too, after I put it in the fridge, it's typically thickens up quite a bit. I'll stir in a little bit of milk and heat it up, and you're just back to new. So we will dish up. Now last year, my family and I did a fun family project. We did pottery and made bowls, so it's kind of fun this year to do the individual bowls. I will dish up And my dad used to actually have this as a whole meal. He would fill up his whole dinner plate and eat it as a bigger meal. You can do it however you like. If you like it as a big meal, great. If you want smaller portions, great. If it's an appetizer, I would probably go with the smaller size. And for this purpose too of finding the almond, which I will explain in a second, it's kind of nice to have a smaller size. So here, so now I would say we get a good 4 portions of, I don't have much left here of the recipe or the amounts that I showed you. So the trick here is this little almond, and if you don't have a blanched almond, you can make one yourself. You just take a regular almond, put it in boiling water for 60 seconds, no more, no less, and then boom, you hit it in cold water, and the brown outer layer will come right off. It's perfect, perfect. So what I do now is I'm gonna sneak this into one of these bowls, and there will be a little prize for whoever gets the bowl with the almond in it, because you can't see it right now. So we randomly hand out the dishes, and I will show you after I dress this up what the prize is. Okay, so typically you can put it on however you like. I have cinnamon, I have sugar, and I have butter. My preferred way is with a little bit of cinnamon first, and then I like a generous amount of sugar on top. And my grandpa would always eat this in layers, so when he ate off the top layer, he'd do a new layer. That's up to you. And then just a little eye is what we call it of butter. And there's my lamb. I'm gonna go shut that off and I'll be right back with the prize. All right, so the magical prize for whoever ends up with the almond is a marzipan pig. And later on today on Giants of the Earth Heritage Center, you will find a recipe, I believe, by Leah Emery that is showing you how to make a marzipan pig. Hers will probably look different than mine. I just kind of made this up from a model of the marzipan pig that I grew up with in Norway. It tastes really yummy. And so here you have it. Risengrynsgrøt. God jul!